Good morning and welcome to Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show on this beautiful Saturday morning, October the 21st, 2023. Before I bring my boy in Liberia on, let's talk about what my topic is about today. Today we're going to talk about spiritualism and the powers that are in you. You know, this is a topic a lot of people try to avoid, spiritualism, because it's abstract. When you talk about spiritualism, those are things you can't see, you can't touch, but you can feel. You have the intuition to communicate with those things spiritually. That's what we call mind power. When we talk about spiritualism, those are things that occur in our minds. We can't see them, we can't touch them, but they have an impact on us because they impact our decision making. They impact our very lives. Sometimes many of us wonder why, with all the education we got, with all the knowledge we got, we can't G, we can't haul. Everything we put in our hands in, it fail. Everything we attempt to do, it fail. Why? There's got to be a reason, man. Why do you think some people, they even achieve half of what you achieve, but they're successful in everything they do? Why? You know, when we talk about God, we talk about Christianity, religion. In my mind, there are basically three nations that are really Christian nations in the world. One, America. When I say America, it encompasses the whole Caribbean island and everything, because the people in the Caribbean, they are islands. Although they may claim to be nations, those islands do not have the resources nor the powers to exist on their own. So unless they come under the banner of CARICOM, where all of them are collectively put together, their strengths are put together, you know, they don't really represent nations, okay? So America cover all of that. Then we have Israel. Although not a Christian nation, we follow the same principles. The world's three great religions follow the same principles. Then thirdly, Liberia. Why Liberia? Because Liberia was a nation, the only black nation that spread Christianity throughout Africa before Ghana, Nigeria, and all those countries were ever established. Those countries were countries under the, also under America, include Britain and all those countries that, you know, founded America, that were participating, France, Britain, France, all the countries that are Christian nations. So when I say America, it encompasses all of them because all of them were active in the New World. You know, they fought, they conquered countries, they owned countries in the New World. So they were all Christian nations. That was the New World, the Caribbean, America, all of them proclaim Christianity more than any other religion. Okay? So then we look at the other side of the world. I'm looking at blocks of the world. We look at the other side of the world. I talk about Israel, which is the foundation of the three Christian religions. So Christianity has a hold in there too. Then we look at Africa, the whole region. We look at Liberia. Besides the Boers and the white people that are south, we look at the black people. The black people, Liberia. Liberians left this nation and spread Christianity all through the world. From 1847 to late 1950s, Liberia was the black nation of the world, recognized in the League of Nations and the United Nations. So when we talk about Christianity and our spiritualism, I want to look at these three countries. Look at America right now. America has a very serious spiritual problem. Our leaders are not in sync. And when our leaders are not in sync, that sends a clear message to the people that there's a spiritual issue in America. America is a Christian nation. When people try to lead our nation astray into other acts of other people's religions, our nation cannot be in sync. Our nation, the people suffer. We haven't started suffering yet in America, but it's coming. If this thing continues, it's coming. And under Christian principles, Jesus Christ will never let this nation go to evil people. They can take it for a season, but it's not theirs. Good will always prevail. And that's where the true war really comes in. It's spiritual. And it only manifests itself physically when we have lost control, our spiritual control. We control spirituality too. Even Jesus Christ, when he was leaving, he told us, anything you're tied on earth will be tied in heaven. He was talking to the church, the Christian church, the leaders of the church. He was telling us that anything the Pope, the Christian community get together and tie, it will be tightened in heaven. Anything we loosen, it will be loosened in heaven. He was referring to our laws, our public policies. I told you public policies are laws. They're not written down, but they are principles that we uphold as spiritual and high, and we do not release them for foolishness. We not let them go. So they become laws. Even though they're not written, these are things that our society as a whole have mentally decided that we not accept, such as homosexualism. It was never part of our laws, but our culture never accepted that. It never accepted that. And that was these foreigners trying to beat it in our heads on TV, trying to put it in our laws, and trying to change our mentalities towards it. And if you come to this country, your mentality will change. Because I work in the prison. My whole mentality about gayism is not what it was when I first came from Liberia. I'm more accepting of certain things because this is an advanced society. Spiritualism is on different levels in this nation. You know, despite the fact majority of the people in this country adhere to principles that are Christian oriented. Everybody have their own. This is a nation of multi peoples, diverse peoples, diverse religions. You know, that's why America can even protect her constitution. Because when you have all these different religions, we cannot tell which religion is better than the other religion. It's a spiritual thing. That what makes religion a spiritual thing. Because even Jesus Christ, our teacher, himself told us, in my Father's house are many mansions. That means there are different gods all over the place. There are different religions. The only God is the creator. He created all of us. That's why our God, our Christian God, for us Catholics and people who believe in the Trinity, is the 3-in-1. You see? Because there's a supreme God who created all this world. And when he said, when he came, the world was dark. Just like space, you go into space, it's dark, it's darkness. The world was dark. He said, let there be light. And where was the light? Jesus Christ. That what differentiates the darkness from the light. Jesus. Because he's the enlightenment. He's the spirit of enlightenment. but teach us a better way, a safer way, a collective way. We're not fighting each other. He doesn't teach us to fight each other. He doesn't teach us that one group of us better than another group. No, he disassociated himself from all of that, even when he was alive. People were going up preaching against him. Jesus was the only God that didn't compare other religions or say his religion was better than this. He didn't encourage it. He didn't encourage, because if he wanted to be a part of the Godhead, he had to understand the impact of religion on our lives. That's what Jesus traveled throughout the world too, to learn the scriptures and all those kind of things. So I don't want to go too far into religion before I start confusing people. I got my own beliefs too. But, I was talking about spiritualism and how it impacts us. And I'm looking at America now. Spiritualism in America is dim. It's dim. Because the forces that support other gods and other people want to overpower Christianity in America. All this thing going on in our nation is a war. It's a spiritual war to overpower Christianity. People were threatening people with death, trying to go after them. If you're not spiritually strong, you fail. You'll be afraid. You give up. And the enemies will prevail, which is darkness. Who want to be ruling America with people sending death threat to you? What kind of stupid thing is that? Death threat. Sending death threat to other people to kill you. That thing only happens when you're not spiritually strong. And the evil power cannot overpower the good. That's why we don't have a speaker today. We don't have a speaker today because some of those people running to be speaker are the very people that try to destroy democracy in America. How you try to destroy America and democracy in America, then you want to lead, bringing gangsters and war in our nation? We're not using that shit for Africa, for third world nations. They're supposed to be the nation of thinking people, civilized people, understanding the truth. And I'm speaking about spiritualism today because it is important. It is important for us to understand that all the things we do, all the things we say have spiritual implications. Why? Don't let anybody fool you and tell you there's no God. As long as we have the ability to mentally think, as long as we have the ability to argue in our heads about good and bad, about wrong and right, as long as we have the abilities to have conscience before we make decisions, to have the ability to analyze things good, to have making informed decisions. All of that does not just come up overnight. Are you crazy? Why you think George we are them screwing up? Because they are not spiritually in tune with the education. You got to be spiritually in tune. Same thing with your wife. You think when you marry a woman, you just marry her? No. There's a spiritual implication too. That's why you got to choose your wife wisely. You can't let your mom choose your wife for you. You can't let your pa choose. Your mom has, when your mom born you, she born you, yes. But at a certain age, you break from that spiritual link and grow into your own. Into your own. That's why even in reality, we have minority and majority. When you are minority, that means you are less in your mind, in everything. You are less. When you reach majority, which is maturity, or 21 or 18 years, we expect you to have a level of maturity to protect yourself spiritually, to evolve to where you are held responsible for your own acts. You see, it's a gradual process because you come from 10, 11, 12. All those processes are for you to educate yourself. You see? And if you educate yourself, you understand what is good, what is bad, when to hang on to things, when to release things and free yourself. And if you don't learn those things, then you're not mature. Then you're still spiritually burdened. That's what they call spiritually burdened. Because that's what Jesus said. All the things Jesus teaches us in the Bible are to relieve us of burden, spiritual burden. You know, forget about sin. Don't worry about revenge. Don't. Everything has karma. Everything under the sun has karma. You got a revenge, the karma will catch the person. But just as everything has karma, everybody got their own gods. And that's where we don't know whose God is stronger than who God. That way you don't know. You don't know what kind of a God that person using to do bad, to do the bad things they're doing. And they think they protect it. You know, they go, they make sacrifices, cow sacrifices. Some people make human sacrifices. You don't know what kind of protection. You don't know what place in God's realm their God is positioned. You don't know that. You can't say that God is evil. You don't have that power. Even with God's laws, you still do not have the power to say what other gods are. What other people's gods are, you don't have that power. Your power is to encourage people to follow your God, to impart to them the lessons that you need to impart to them, to make them strong. So when we talk about spiritualism, it impacts all of us differently. And we're talking about America right now. We see that how spiritualism has been attacked. Because when a country cannot select its leaders, when the Lord, folks, this country has not had a problem with this. America has not had a problem with the speaker. So why all of a sudden we can't elect a speaker? And the people running for speaker cannot be accepted for the position. All of this has spiritual impact. It has a spiritual impact. We go to Israel. Look at Israel right now. Okay. Right now, I don't know where I stand on this position. I really don't know. At one time, when you ask me, I would say, oh, Israel. But because of the behavior of Benjamin Netanyahu over the years, I used to like Benjamin Netanyahu. When I was younger, Benjamin Netanyahu has not been a head of Israel recently. This man being president of Israel from the time I was small. From the time I was a teenager. I used to hear about Benjamin Sharon, Benjamin Netanyahu. These are people that have been ruling this country since Hector was a pup. And at a certain time, you got to give it up. When your philosophy and your behavior do not match, you got to give it up. When you become too powerful, too empowered, too privileged, you got to give it up. And this is where Benjamin Netanyahu is. You know, they killed his brother in the 1960 wars and things. He was one of the generals. And he has held that grudge because of his attitude towards the Palestinians. Now, I see lately, Benjamin Netanyahu has become a very spiritually diverse man. He's not following the teachings of Islam. Not Islam, the scripture. Because the scripture started from them. Islam, all of them come from the scripture. The same scripture. But he's not following that. He's diverting from the teachings of the scripture. You know, He's on the verge of some hit thing now, you know, stopping people from coming to his country, causing issues like Donald Trump in America, want to denounce certain people, you know, based on arrogance, not the law. Even some of the people in Israel are opposed to what he's doing. Because some of the things he's doing are necessary. It's hurting people. When you hurt people unnecessarily, that's a problem. Our whole world is suffering. Everybody in the world is suffering for some reason or another. People are trying to find better lives. Yes, we've got security issues. Yes, there are some people coming in our country with bad intentions. Yes, we got to sift those people out. I agree with that. That's why we got security. That why even Mozart. Look at you see how spiritualism works. When you do things that cause God to pull his hand back, things happen to you and your people. It's karma. The same thing I'm telling you, when people do evil to you, it will come back to them. It's karma. It's karma. You ever hear about that word? It's true. It's true. That was certain things, if you go against what you believe in. All of us are taught things from the time we were born. We are taught lessons. And if we adhere to those lessons and take them to be true under certain ages in our lives, then all of a sudden we switch because of greed, because of bitterness, because of anger and hatred and all kind of, we question God. So we switch. God not switching. God is constant. You want to switch, you switch. God, that was just everybody said God has a plan. You don't think they killed my pa? I'm mad at them because they suffer me because of that shit. You know? Because the just will suffer with the unjust. That's the rule of nature. You can't fight that. You can't fight that. So you got that kind of rule of nature. You have to be cognizant of karma. What goes around comes around. All those things, they tell you, those are time-tested proverbs, slogans, whatever you want to call them. They're time-tested. When they say what goes around comes around, it may not come around in the same form, but you will get something from that. You will have an impact from that very thing. And that's nature. Because God controls everything. And that's why we have to be mindful, man. We have to be mindful. And world leadership is being questioned today because of that very thing, our spiritualism. Nothing else in the world is causing any issue but our spiritualism right now. America has a spiritualism. We are conflicted with hate and bitterness and the negativities of the world right now. When you talk about people threatening death threats on government officials and they're not being arrested and being put in jail and being sought after, something wrong. Something is wrong. When you look at Israel, that got the greatest security in the world, being led into an asinine war. An asinine war for nothing. Because they were sitting down sleeping. Their interest was not in the interest of the Israeli people. The government were now pursuing their own interests, doing what they want to do. That's what happened when you lose the blessings of God. It's spiritual. Now let's look at Liberia. What happened in our country? Same thing. We can't find leadership. Our country went so astray, we went to war. We kill each other, the dogs. And we are the foundation of Christianity in Africa. We are the foundation of Christianity in Africa. We lost our way. Our leaders practicing witchcraft. People going to put our leaders won't be pastors and presidents. What is that? Look at since Torberton. Everybody want to be pastor. Everybody thinks that the way to wealth, and when you don't succeed in life, be a pastor. Take up a Bible and put a collar on, say you're a pastor. When you don't go to school, you don't do shit in life, put on a collar and go around and put a Bible under your arm and go teach. Say you're a pastor. That's the way to prestige and success in Liberia now. Nobody want to get educated. Nobody want to even go to theology school. Everybody just wants to say they know the Bible and you carry around pamphlet and give it to people. Ask half of the people about the true meaning of the Bible and Jesus' teaching. They don't know it. You think everything you read in the Bible that Jesus is teaching? It's not. His teachings are deep. Deep. They can cause you mental breakdown sometimes. You don't believe me? Get educated and follow the true Christian religion. Jesus' teachings are deep. Sometimes when Mama said, when I think about it, I say, whoa, this guy was smart, man. This guy, he was so smart, he was simple. He made everything so simple, he just broke it down. And sometimes it can be scary. It can be scary that life can be so simple. It can be scary. People look for the difficult things, try to solve all these mathematical things. And sometimes it's not that difficult. You see? But these three Christian nations, our whole faith hangs in the balance, man. You know? Because when you evaluate our world, we got to find out where we fit in this world of all these religions and all these ideals, beliefs. Where do we fit? We can't just say we're Christians and we think it's a joke. There must be a reason for people to go to church, millions of people, to worship one man. People die for him. It can't be for nothing. Huh? People died because for they believed in Jesus. People were stoned. Look at how they stoned our boy and all of us watching that day. That how they stoned St. Stephen in front of Jesus. That how they were stoning that woman who committed adultery. And Jesus had to go there and help her. Because when people get angry, they don't think about anything else. They just, mob violence can get you lost in your own thinking. You lose your mental thinking when the mob start thinking. Then you lose your self-thinking and you join a mob. That's why it's always good to take a step back when you see mob acting up. Take a step back from the mob and think, are we doing the right thing? Is this because of emotions? The emotion of the time. So we just lost our mind. They call it passion. The passion of the time, we just lost our mind. That deep feeling you get for something. And if it hurt us, we just lost our mind. That's same thing with passion killing. Man, you know what I mean? When people kill manslaughter, when people kill their wife and things because of love and jealousy and all of that. That's that kind of passion that leads the mob astray. Because they get a deep passion for something and they feel deceived, they feel wronged, they feel hurt. And instead of thinking, they all just get into this one mad spiritual something. It's a spiritual thing that drives the mob. Everything, when you see people acting together, There's a spirit in there. They're moving their minds together. Because, all these people thinking together, either they're confused together, or they're mad together, or they're happy together. Like the university children singing, celebrating their thing yesterday. You saw them running all the street singing. They were moved. Things don't just happen like that. All those things have spiritual implications and applications. So when you understand these things, you understand the spiritualism that is impacting us in the world today. It is negative. And what is going on in the world today? Our Christian faith is trying to combat something that is ancient, that has been suppressed for so long. But because things are changing in the world now, the world is changing. We talk about climate change. You talk about all these kind of changes coming up. We're seeing more aliens. You think that joke? People seeing more aliens. People seeing spaceships now. Maybe the ancient people used to see it, but that was not something we had on the radio and TV now. It's on radio and TV now. CNN and all the radio stations got to broadcast it now because they cannot deny it anymore. And it is even more spiritualism when we see spaceship being chased in our airspace by United States jet. What does that say to us African people? We are condemned. We are condemned. If the Americans and white people traveling with ancient aliens and all of that in space, where does that leave us when we don't have the jets and things to compete with these nations? We are nobody. We just got to depend on our spiritualism. That's the same spiritualism. Where do you think all these aliens come from? Aliens can appear in your house. They can take you with them into different dimensions. That's why you need to study about these things. As long as the American government is admitting now that they are flying saucers in our space, aerial space, we dip into spiritualism. If those things can just appear into your house and take you anytime they want to take you, we're in a different dimension of life. That's why our world is so screwed and Christianity is being challenged. Because all those aliens are submitted and submissive to Jesus Christ. They're not powerful more than him. They are people just like us, but they are aliens different from different dimensions. But we're all from the same God. As long as they honor their Son, they are submissive to the will of God, the 3-in-1. And that's why with Jesus Christ and the Creator and the Holy Ghost, it empowers them. Above all the things they gotta confront. We don't know what all in the universe, but we're beginning to see it now. We see things going in our ocean. We don't know what living in the bottom of the ocean. The bottom of the ocean is a mystery to us. We see spaceship going in the ocean. We can't deny it no more. We can't say, oh, they're not true. You're just talking rubbish. No, they're not rubbish. Go watch CNN. Go watch MNBC or whatever they call them. Go watch CBS. Go watch ABC, BBC. All of them talking about aliens. They're not just coming here. They've been here forever. They've been here forever. And we're not the only one that know about them. People knew about them forever. But just now, they're so prevalent around that the news can't deny it no more. People in the news can say, oh man, you can't prove it, that thing, you can't see it. It's all over. It's all over. Things have changed. And that does not mean that Jesus Christ is not all powerful. It's not. You know, sometimes I watch some of these spiritual shows on the Travel Channel, try to understand these things. My wife said, "Why are you watching all of this?" Because we are spiritual people. For all of us who understand the bigger realm, we know that we're not the only people that existed physically, not spiritually. And as long as we have the mental capacity to dream, I mean, it's great. I'm talking these things, but it's beyond what I'm talking if you understand it. There is no way we can be the only people here if we have the ability and capacity to think, to dream, to envision, to plan. All that thing takes dreams. It takes vision. How do we know if we do this thing today, it will turn out the way tomorrow? How did our fathers then know to take the chance to do that? It was spiritualism. Look at all the different designs in the world, all the different inventions in the world. Some of them are by mistake, pure mistake, but it came out right. So even with me, even right now, everything you know the spiritual impact. Sometimes you drop something, the thing right in front of you, you can't find it. When God does not want you to succeed, you will not succeed. No matter how educated you are, how great you are in everything you do, you will not get the thing you really want. If you need money, you will not get it. If you need love, you will not get it. That thing that you really want and needs to succeed, you will not get it because money is not the only thing we need to succeed. Sometimes you need a good woman to give you ideas, to be there to help you. Sometimes you need a good friend. Sometimes you need to dream good dreams. Sometimes you're educated, but your ideals are not consistent with the realities around you. So you cannot be in sync with your reality. You keep fucking up everything. Everything you do, you can't succeed. You can't succeed. That's spiritualism. If you don't believe me, look around you. Look at how all the people who educated, they can't get their shit together, man. They're educated, but what they want, they can't do it. Everything they put their hand in is kaput. It kaput. It kaput. You know, people can do that to you too. That was, all my life. My correspondent will come up, but he got to wait today because today I really want to talk about spiritualism. All my life, I really wonder what this world is all about. But I've come to learn so many things, man. I come to learn so many things. I told you about that Indian man who I brought in my house. And since I brought him in my house, my whole life changed. I kept slipping. I broke my hip. I had 2 or 3 strokes. I had bleeding ulcer. I had all these things. 7 years. 7 years it lasted. So it's no joke. Bad luck lasts 7 years. From the time I met that man to this very year, it's 7 years. Exact. And that's why I know all the bad luck he put on me is gone. Because some of the things that were happening to me are not happening no more. It's not happening no more. But I let that man into my life. I knew I shouldn't have let that man into my house. Someone was telling me that was spiritualism. I debated in my mind whether I should have let him in my house. And I said, I believe in Jesus. Let him come in my house. But he brought voodoo in my house. I don't know what kind of God he served. And I'm not saying his God is stronger than Jesus. Not because of the thing I went through. But maybe that was the experience from Jesus. Jesus wanted to show me his power. Because all the things that happened to me, right now, some of the pain I go under right now, normal people can't go under it. That's why I tell my wife, the pain that going on from breaking my hips, from getting old. Because when you get old, your body changes. All of that impact you too, with pain and everything. Normal people can go through it, but I don't feel it too much because I'm blessed. I'm blessed. What that man wanted to do to me, where I shut my kidney down, where I killed me. He wanted to kill me. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Because I believe. And when you believe, you put in a different realm. But your belief gotta be belief. It can't be frivolous. It can't be bullshit. You gotta understand. You gotta put yourself in that thing. And that's what I did. I don't practice juju. I don't go to no juju, man. I don't like that thing. Because I know it's real. I know it's real. When I use juju, I can't sleep. I'm in a totally demonic world. I see things come near me. I don't want that kind of thing. I don't like it. You don't think people are shown a man that mean different things? I've seen people come to me and offer me these things. Why? Because they know I'm a man of the light. I don't follow darkness. So they want to entice me to show me what they got. That's more powerful than the light. That's the only way they come to you to entice you. That when juju people come to you. On my internet, people send all kind of things to me, inviting me for the I see people, as soon as they see me, they throw signs to me. There was a guy I met. The guy showed me this way I pray without even talking to me. All the signs he did, and only he was communicating to me from the door. And he knew he was talking to me. I knew he was talking to me because he did all the time and he smiled at me and shook his head and walked away. When you're in the spirit, there are things you will see and things, but you can't talk about it. You can't talk about it. Some of them are scary. You don't want to talk about it. You just leave it alone. But how many of you have seen spiritual things that you can't explain, that you do? Some of the things right in front of you. And I was telling you about when how everything with God want you to feel, you feel. Some of the things right in front of you, you can't find it. You just looking for it all. It's sitting right in front of you. Maybe it's not there. Maybe wherever took it from you, God just looking, then it will put it there. It will just appear there. Then you think that it was there all the time you were looking for it, but it wasn't there. You know? Sometimes things roll off the table. You see it rolling off the table and fall down. When you go to get it, you can't find it no more. Those are things that are intended to show you that there are powers that you don't understand. And you got to pay attention to these. Many of us dismiss those things. There's a many things that drop. Well, hey, but how did it come here? When you look at all the time, you have been looking at that spot all the time. It wasn't there. Then all of a sudden, when you lift up your head, it's there. You say, "Well, I've been looking at this thing all the time. I've been looking all year." But we don't take nothing about it. We dismiss it and just keep going on. But those things are petty things that tell us we're not alone. It's a spiritual thing. And look at you. If you meant to succeed, God will guide you. You know, you not have, when you see, let me tell you one thing about juju, the petty accidents. When you see yourself having accident every morning and you start getting scared to drive, that's juju. You need to go check yourself. Somebody have done something to you. That is something happened to me. I was having accidents. I was getting so scared. I mean, foolish accidents. I was just turning around and tip somebody's car, scratch my car, or do something. I mean, it would be a stupid accident, but it will cost you money. It will cost you problems. It happened to one of my friends right now. The guy here, I was sitting there, he was telling me, he said, "Rodney, I just had accident. I'm just having all kind of accidents. I was scared to drive." It didn't hit me then to tell him because I didn't realize it was happening to him until I sat down and evaluated what happened to me over the past 7 years. Even my mechanic, luckily for me, when you establish friendship with certain people, it makes life easier for you. All the accidents we're having, my mechanic, my body man, been helping me. So he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of that for you. Don't worry, I'll take care of that for you." I'm like, whoa. If I didn't have this guy, man, sometimes my insurance company will come and say, "Oh, don't worry, we got Mr. Chesson." You all said, that God protecting you. Those things not just happening. One spirit wanted to destroy you, but God, the God you believe in, is there. It's there. It's there. And when you bless the God, they will get tired. Because all the things they try, it will not work. It will not work. But you got to believe. You got to believe in your God and stick to it, no matter how mad you are. Look, believing in God is hard. Spiritualism is serious. We can get mad at God. You can get mad at God. Yes. Sometimes God don't give you everything you want, but you can't desert him. It's right to get mad. You get mad with your mom. You get mad with your pa. Your mom and pa get mad with you. That's life. But you cannot curse God. You got to understand, yes, you can get mad with him. This is a God, well, stop it, man. What all they didn't do to me, man. Well, I don't like this shit. You curse him. He's the master. You think Moses and other people didn't go through what we're going through? Most of them had doubts too. They had doubts. But their faith overpowered their doubts. Because God will test you to the limits sometimes. Sometimes he will test you to the limits. But when he loves you, you know it. It brings tears to my eyes because I've been tested. I've been tested. And when God loves you, you will know it. Nothing can go wrong. But you got to earn that love. You can't say, you can't determine when God loves you. That's not your job. You don't have that ability. You can't determine it. That's his power. That's his power. But when he makes up his mind to accept your prayers, your sacrifices, your dreams, your ambition, whatever you want, and ask him for, if he agrees to accept it and give it to you, you will know. You will know. Things will not go wrong in your life. The petty things that used to go wrong, like, I mean, you wouldn't believe that what used to happen to me, man. Sometimes just reverse. I would just hit somebody's car stupidly. I would scratch my car or do so. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was stupid. And every time I did those things, that was thousands of dollars. You see? But sometimes people help you too. People, there are people, they got fortune, talent, and all those things, but I don't deal with those people. Why? Nobody know what time God will do things in your life. Nobody know. Only God knows. The fortune teller can tell you this thing will happen. It will happen. It will rest assured. It will happen day after tomorrow. It will not happen. Except God agreed. And then that will tell you, say, God agreed. God agreed. The fortune teller can tell you everything. God's time is his time. You will get it. You may get it. But now when they tell you, when you expect him to get it, you'll not get it. And that will make spiritualism a mystery. Because no man, and people can tell you anything, but they don't know God's time. Time is something that's a mystery. Time is a mystery. And only God controls that. You know, no one else controls it. And secondly, to show that God controls everything, none of us know how we're dying. You will die in bed. You die being killed by people raiding your area. Look at the people in Israel. Some people weren't expecting to be killed. Israel had the best security. And I was listening to the news this morning. Even the people in those areas didn't expect the Palestinians to be so aggressive and want to kill them. Because they knew the people, they felt they knew the people. They felt they had lived in that area in peace for so long, such a thing wasn't going to happen. That's why it was a surprise. People were shocked That it happened. Oh, we never believe this is not going to happen. You know, even the people we relate to these people, you never know how you're going to die. You never know. I never dreamed that in my life, in my old age, I was going to slip on ice and break my hip in 3 places. Have 3 strokes, 3 strokes. Have bleeding ulcers, all these things. I never thought about that. I see some of my boys today, they can hardly walk or talk. They never dream about that. Some of them you talk to, they tell you something, man. And, you know, when you believe in spiritualism and can discern it from reality, you know that certain people get hurt. It's not because of their own self. Now, I know that certain people are born with the ability of knowing where they are coming, what life they're coming to live, whether they will accept it or not. And many of the babies that die, I wonder if they didn't want to be born. Because at one time, I didn't want to come to this earth either. When I saw where I was coming, I saw what place I was coming to, I didn't want to come. I told you, I said, I that's one thing I know for sure. I remember. When I opened my eyes, I saw the place I was coming to. I said, hey, to hell with this place. I want to check out. I was going back. And to prove what I'm saying was true, my aunt who raised me said I had an open wound that could not be healed. 4 fingers could go. My head was so sunken in. 4 fingers could go in my head. My mom could not cure it. She didn't know anybody. That's why she gave me to my aunt to raise, because she could not cure it. Everywhere she took me, nobody could go. I didn't want to live. I saw the way I was coming to. I saw the fucked up place I was coming to. I saw the fucked up society I was coming to. I said, nah, let me check out. I wanted to go back. And God said, I got to the door. When I got to the door, I told you, I said, look, guys, close the door on me. I remember all of that like daylight. I got back to the door. I know I was in the clouds. I remember I was in the clouds. And the door was beyond the clouds. And I got to the door. And look, I closed the door and said, well, man, you can't come back. And they were just like us. Just like human beings. The secret of it. They said, well, man, you can't come back, go down there. That's your time. And after they said that, I remember I woke up, I don't know what it was. But when they said that, that was the last thing I remember. Okay? So some of us have the ability, spiritually, to see where we're coming. And I always wonder to myself, I said, why did they let those other guys go back? Maybe you have the option to go back. Maybe you do and come back to another family. But I don't know what the consequences are for going back, because you didn't accept your mission. You see, with me, I came, I saw, and I've done what I've done. And I got to set myself right, because I know I came from somewhere. And now I'm telling you, there's somewhere. I got to be a preacher. I got to be a pastor to tell you that. I'm a Christian. And I'm telling you, there is somewhere. You know, I'm telling you, there is Jesus. That's a reality. That's a reality. Some of us don't like to say it because people say, oh, that's a Jesus man, that's a holy man. I don't care. I don't care. You know, I'm no priest. I'm no holy man. I don't want you to follow me, to bow down to me, to think I'm not. I'm a damn sinner. I have a cuss and everything because I'm a sinner. I live in a sinful world. I get pissed off. I get mad. I will kick people in the balls and in the fish. And that ain't no joke. So I'm not a holy man. But just I'm a man that sees the realities of the life I live. I evaluate it. I didn't get educated because I wanted to be self-aggrandized. No. It was the mission that God gave me. I'm sitting here because I'm blessed to do this, not because I have the power in myself to do it. Yes, I have the power in myself, but I'm blessed to have that power. You know, so when you realize these things from where you come from and all of that, hey, I'm just talking to the boys and girls who are not into religion and all of that and just want to understand life. Yes, there is a God. Yes, there is Jesus Christ. I believe it. And I want you to believe it too. Because when you grow up, you understand that all the things around you don't just happen because they want to happen. There's a reason that it happened. You know, that we live to be old, that we live to be who we are, educated, uneducated. There's a reason for everything. And many days I thank Jesus. I said, oh, I thank you. Because many days I think my life is hard. When I look at other people's lives in other countries, the way they suffer, I said, dang it, that could have been me. I could have been born in that country. You could have been born in that country. Okay? Let me bring my ball on and just say something. Sam, how you doing?
Yeah, well, good morning. I've been listening to you. Discuss a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
issues.
This morning I will move to talk about the spiritualism that impacted our world, man. Because there's no way that America can be so upside down. They can't elect a speaker for so many weeks and months now. And the people that want to be speakers threatening other people with death. You know, this is not right.
What?
This is not right. You hear they threaten some of the people who voted against certain people for being speaker. They threaten them with death. Senators and representatives of the United States of America. Then I,
I've been
I
getting it.
evaluate I evaluated the world on three bases because we are Christians. I divide the Christian world into three sectors. One, America, which encompass France, Britain, the Caribbean, all those places, they are America. That one Christian society. The second Christian society is Israel, where all three religions have a stake in that area. Then the third thing is Liberia. We are the only black nation in Africa that spread Christianity. So those are the three nations that spread Christianity. We are from 1847 to the 1950s and 60s. We were the only nation speaking for black people in the world. And we were a Christian nation. So I'm looking at the spiritualism that have impacted our nation and destroyed it nearly. And how America right now, if they don't take care of themselves, we only bring a destruction here too. Because there can be no way, after nearly 400 years of existence, our people can't come together and elect a leader of the house. God is telling us something is wrong. Our spiritualism is being challenged. Look at Israel. They got the biggest security in the world. We gave them all that money. And their president is acting so crazy. I don't know if God is with him. I don't know if God is with Netanyahu. Because wherever people attack God's people and they are hurt and punished, it is because of the leadership that has been disconnected from God. The people of Israel need to check their leadership. There's a problem. Netanyahu has been in power for too long. Sam, this man being in power from the time I was a teenager. Something is wrong. He's disconnected from the God of Israel. Look at
I know.
Liberia. Look at our country. How destructive and evil our country is. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. And it is not right with Christianity in Africa. So, Sam, my hour's up. I just wanted to bring you on. So I didn't want you to be on for nothing all day. I just wanted you to come on and listen and see what I was saying face to face. So the hour is done. You take
It's
care.
true.
We'll do our thing Monday. You got something to say before we go?
Okay. No, I was only trying to buttress what you're saying about knowing God and going far from God. Because once you go against God, you still will have problems. That's what happened to Israel.
Yeah.
Disobedience.
Yeah.
Israel is too much involved in the kind of working nowadays. So that's why God will punish people who disobey Him anyway.
You see, and Sam, I
He will
feel
never
compelled
forget
to
you
do.
as a child.
I feel
So
compelled to do.
Israel is going through a turmoil now. Maybe
You finish?
mhm.
Finish.
Yeah, yeah. And
I just.
the Palestinians in, I mean, the Arabs in America, I see them demonstrating, protesting against what happened in Israel.
Well, they got it right that they are
You know,
Americans.
and we got to be very careful in America because the Arabs are growing.
They're going where?
Yeah, they are growing. They are getting too much in that country. You
Yeah,
saw
we just put.
what happened 9/11 and stuff like that. They are growing. They are developing. They are developing. They are getting too much.
Yeah, but they are Americans. That had nothing to do with it. It has
You know.
nothing to do with Arabs
We are praying for
or
America and Israel.
yeah. Okay, but I just felt compelled to talk about this because I'm not
Yeah.
a priest, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a reverend, I'm not a holy man. I'm a sinful man. But when our country is going, when our world is going astray, those that are believers must speak up. Must speak up. It is our duty and responsibilities, just like protecting our nation. Because when I do this for Liberia as well. Okay? So, Sam, take care of yourself. I'll talk to you on Monday. Okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my hour is over and I've got to go. I'll see you on Monday. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. For you who can go to church, go to church. For you who can't, make sure you pray. Okay? Have a good day.